OnsideRadio.com knows gamers need a home.
Can you dig it?
That's why for the next 60 seconds,
Can you count, suckers?
here's your Onside Radio E-Report with Kai Chen Chisholm.
Game studio Innersloth recently announced that the new map in their popular multiplayer game Among Us will release on March 31st along with multiple updates. The map will bring new spawn locations, bug fixes, more tasks, and much more for players to do. The studio, which does have a small development team, saw the game increase in popularity at random in the summer, over 2+ years after its original release. Streamers such as the group Offline TV, in particular Disguised Toast, took off in popularity with the rise of the game and have been expecting an update for quite some time. While they've been waiting for the update, streamers have been using mods in the game made by modder Automated to spice things up. The game can be played on PC, Nintendo Switch, iPhone, Android, and soon on Xbox.
Stay in touch in the world of gaming with the Onside Radio E-Report. It's time for Kai's Corner on OnsideRadio.com. To talk to Kai, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. To reach out on the text line, it's 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm on your home for sports talk, OnsideRadio.com.
Good morning. We are here, beautiful Inter Miami CF Stadium. A little bit, not cold, but I guess chilly for some Miami people, I would say. It is a beautiful day again. It was a little bit cloudy, but now we are here. Beautiful morning, beautiful day. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Of course, as always, Sean is here, the producer of all producers. I, myself, Kai. You can find me on Twitter at Samurai Radio, 2 I's in Samurai. Sean, the weekend has passed. How was your weekend?
My bracket was busted.
How quickly was it?
Actually, not terribly. I mean, of course, the Oral Roberts first round upset me. I did take Oregon State. I had a couple of them picked, but as of yesterday now, it's
absolutely destroyed.
Well, of course, because I had Illinois and Michigan in my finals, and now Illinois is totally out of the tournament. So let's go Wolverines.
And that's oh my God, name is slipping my head right now. Former Heat coach with Michigan right now. Juwan Howard, yes. Oh my, he was a part of the Fab Five, wasn't he? Back in the day?
Yes, he was.
Yes, he was. All right. I did not do a bracket. However, yesterday I was watching my Florida Gators, and I was very upset because I was just watching them. At one point, they were looking good, and I was like, this sucks because Mike White is just going to get another year, and the Florida Gators basketball program is going to continue to suck because that's just what happens. So, I'm glad that it happened. And also, it's just great. It's like a great Cinderella story. It's like everything that you want to see. So I love that, especially some of the stuff that came out from like the UF Barstool account. That was some fun stuff, some funny stuff. I did see a story over the weekend that I thought was extremely inspirational and something that, as someone who lets a lot of things get to him with just anxiety and other things along those lines, and just kind of someone who has to try to move forward and move through, right, and progress through, and myself, it was something that I saw and I was like, wow, like I can't believe that, I can't believe that this is someone who is just absolutely defying all of the odds, absolutely just defying everything put in their way. I was on Twitter, and there's a Twitter called Wholesome Memes, and I like it because every now and then it just, something passes through my timeline, it makes me smile, it makes me happy. And one of the things that I saw from the Wholesome Memes was a video of this dude named Chase, and he had fallen down his bathroom. I want to make sure I get the story correctly. And he was pretty much told when he woke up that he was going to be paralyzed and there was a 50% chance that he would ever walk again. And he has been documenting himself on his Instagram, which is Chase Unfiltered, and on his TikTok, which is Chase Gets Better, throughout his journey. And he's he's a comedian. One of his kind of signature things that I've seen so far throughout the videos that I've watched of him is like flipping the bird. That's his big thing. And so for him, that was like a huge milestone because, his hands started working again and they started being normal again after his spinal injury and everything like that. And one of the big accomplishments he had was, I can flip the bird now. One of the things that he said he wanted to do, and he did it this past Saturday, along with the help of his physical therapist and friends, family. It seemed as if hundreds of people actually cheering him on, most with masks, by the way, which was awesome. In Philly, he said he wanted to walk the Rocky Steps. He wanted to walk all the way up them when he was able to and defy the odds of, they told me that I most likely wasn't going to walk again. There was a 50% chance and everything. So I thought that was outstanding. I couldn't believe that he had this goal of someone who was paralyzed, someone who was told there was pretty much it was just 50%. Either you're most likely not going to walk again or you're going to have to go through tough rehab to make it happen. And he did. The whole 19-minute video is on his Instagram. It's Chase Unfiltered. And you can find the video of him walking with his physical therapist from the bottom of the Rocky Steps in Philadelphia all the way to the top, putting his feet both on the plaque that's there that has the Rocky name on it all the way at the top, raising his arms up in just absolute excitement and just probably wild emotions going through his head and his body. It was awesome. I saw it, and it was something where I was even myself just like, I was able to watch the full video this morning, and I had seen it over the weekend, but I didn't have time to watch the actual live stream on his Instagram. But I saw the video uploaded this morning on his Instagram, and it was awesome. It was pure awesome. And it's just one of those, feel-good stories. It's something that I wanted to be able to start the morning with. Usually I start the morning, especially the mornings where I'm coming off the weekend, talking about just the absolute horrible traffic and driving. But today also was actually a pretty good morning. So we start with that. Oh, wait, Sean has something to say.
No, it's a good morning because this week Broward County is on spring break.
Oh,
so there's no school in Broward County.
Oh, okay. Speaking of spring break, Sean, what did you see over the weekend with spring break? How was that?
Well, it gave us content to watch, right?
What do you think of that stuff? Like,
I just don't understand the pay thousands of dollars or whatever it is they pay to come here to get arrested.
Yeah.
To destroy stuff, to run. And again, I know right now it's grouping everybody in and not everybody comes for that. But when you're watching this on TV unfold and it's like, I don't live in South Beach, but people do. And this is what they're having to put up with. I mean, come on.
I saw a video of people walking the Julia Tuttle, like leaving their cars and just walking back through the Julia Tuttle because they had closed down everything at 8, I believe, on Saturday.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, that stuff.
On Saturday, yesterday they did close it down. On Saturday, there was an issue where everybody just took to the streets.
Yeah.
And you couldn't get through.
It was crazy to watch unfold. Yesterday, I was extremely cautious because my girlfriend lives on not South Beach, but she has to use one of the bridges to get to where she lives. It's like North Beach. I don't know what it's specifically called, but it's technically Miami Beach. And I was extremely cautious because usually she'll leave my house maybe around like 8-ish to get home and stuff like that. And I was very cautious. I had her leave at like 7 o'clock because I was just like, I don't want anything to happen. What if there's traffic? What if you get caught? I don't want you to like not get back home because all these people are just doing stuff to the point where like you can't get to your own house. Like that stuff was that was ridiculous. I when I watched it unfolding on Twitter, I just kept thinking, can we stop coming to Miami? Go somewhere else, man. I know that you.
I remember it used to be down in Fort Lauderdale when you had Button South and some of those other ones on the beach. This is back a long time ago, but they did away with all those places and everybody stopped coming. And now you almost look at it and say, same thing going to have to happen down in South Beach.
Yeah, isn't that why they stopped Ultra? Because of the situations that were happening because of how crazy it was getting?
They moved it 1 year. Now it's coming back when it does come back after the COVID thing. I mean, it's going back over where it was. So did they really move it?
Not really. I remember I'd spent...
It's all about the money, too. That's the other thing.
I spent 3 days, Sean.
Most of the people probably are not spending the money, so it's not worth the headache. That's the thing.
No, for sure. No, I last was it? It might have been 2 years ago actually, where I was working the South Beach Wine and Food Festival, and the company that I work for through FIU with the South Beach Food and Wine Festival. Shout out their Maureen, David. Shout out to them. Really, really, and Brian. Shout out to all three of them because they hooked me up. They're awesome. They hired me to do ticketing for Ultra, and one of the days I couldn't do, but I was there while people were buying tickets and doing all that stuff and running the ticketing booth and everything like that. Those tickets are expensive, and when you got to check out people's tickets to make sure that they have the right ones, oh my gosh, it is like $400, and they have like 4 or 5 tickets, and they need to get the armbands, and they need to make sure they have the barcode and everything. That was just an experience in itself where I sat there like, man, I'm only doing ticketing for a couple of days. I could only imagine what people are doing inside that event. That's horrible. I just want people to stop coming here for spring break. There were colleges that didn't have spring breaks. They had wellness days. Why couldn't they have just done that? These probably aren't all college kids, but like.
But also, some of these college kids probably had already paid ahead and just said, screw the classes, I'm going.
Yeah. I don't know. I prefer not having a spring break, by the way, when I was in like college. Like maybe it's just because like you get out a week earlier because of it. I mean, everything ends up like I would be done. Like last year, we were done with all my classes essentially.
Yeah, but
like
do you
April.
do what they're doing? Like, do you leave your school to go to South Beach? Do you go
I guess
to
not, 'cause I'm here
Cancun? Do you
already.
go to wherever else spring break is? That's the group that, again.
If I had the money to, for sure I would go to like Cancun or something
exactly,
like
and
that.
then you wouldn't want spring break to be canceled.
Yeah, but then I have more time during the summer. Like I guess like I would get this big gap from when I would have school in like the middle of April, like ending with FIU, up until the start of the Mini Canes camp that I would work. And it was about like a month and a half. So I would just try to spend that time. Like when me and my girlfriend were doing long distance, I would go see her at her school. So I would fly up to Albany. I would go see her. Usually that's in like the end of April, beginning of May. And then, come back down, then hang out. Then have a summer where I'm working every single day with the Mini Canes camp, taking care of like 8-year-old, 9-year-old kids. Yeah, so I would have my time. Then I'd have like 3 weeks before school and everything else started back up, so I'd get another time. I guess I just prefer that as well because I don't like the big kind of party atmosphere, and I don't like that scene, I guess, is my thing. I don't like going out and doing that stuff. Even like I know I enjoy my fair share of drink, but I don't like to party. I just like to, sit back and relax. So some of that stuff, I don't know. But I just wish that they stopped coming here. Like just everybody that does spring break, just go somewhere else. Don't go to Cancun either. Just stay home. If you're in like Wyoming or something, stay in Wyoming. If you're in like North Carolina, stay in North Carolina. I'm trying to think of other random states. Arkansas, stay there. Utah, stay there. Just don't stop coming here. Stop ruining things here. Let everything be, because you're just ruining it for, like, you're the tourists that are ruining it for everyone else. You're ruining it for us and making things not as amazing as they could be, considering this is like Miami. Go have fun. Go on the beach and enjoy the water and do tourist things. Don't destroy things and make things worse. Or if there's a mask mandate, at least follow it a little bit. If you're going to be in that way, like, I don't really understand. I would follow my mask mandate. But at least do something so that doesn't happen. Because those things don't happen if you just follow even the smallest, tiniest bits of rules. I mean, even last year there was something on the beach. I remember, like, when everything broke out, there was still stuff happening on the beach again. It's so upsetting that these are one of the things that happen. I just wish that we could all, I don't know, all get along, all be fine, and not have to have all this crap happen. Because it's just so annoying. It frustrates me to my core. We're going to talk about the Bundesliga next. We're going to review match day 26, talk about some of those things. A lot of stuff happened in the Bundesliga, so I want to cover that in soccer stuff. And then in the segment following that, we're going to have on Ricky J. Mark. We'll talk about the Miami Heat's latest string of games that just have not been too fantastic. So we'll be able to talk with him about that. Weeknights, 6 to 7 p.m., catch Game Night with Michael Christian. Listen to the show that provides the smorgasbord gamers love and sports fans desire. From breaking sports news to the latest in gaming culture, catch Game Night with Michael Christian from 6 to 7 p.m. exclusively at OnsideRadio.com.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
Let's raise a cup to the first among us who put themselves last. To the risk takers, the mask makers, the heroes on the front line and online. To the ones keeping shelves full and keeping us hopeful. To those who don't stop and those making all the stops. To the ones who pick up, suit up, and never let us down. From all of us at Dunkin' to all the heroes keeping everyone running, we thank you.
I'm 54, so basically, it's too late to start saving for retirement, right?
Not right. Starting to save, even in your 50s, can really make a difference.
Well, right now, saving seems hard to wrap my head around. Plus, with the way this year's been going...
Hey, listen, it's okay. You still got this. Just go to aceyourretirement.org. It's an online tool from AARP that can help you get your retirement savings on track no matter your age. It's free and only takes about 3 minutes.
I like 3 minutes.
Yeah, at aceyourretirement.org, you'll chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach. Just answer a few questions and you'll get a personalized plan and tips to help boost your retirement savings. Tips that are easy to understand and tailored to your lifestyle.
I like that too.
Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back. Just head to aceyourretirement.org and make your plan to start saving for retirement.
Thanks.
That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
If you missed 4th and 20 with Toast and Marsh, you missed.
You know,
It's so rough being a Yankee fan. It's so rough. It's so hard, I know.
It really is. I mean, they haven't been. I was there in '09. I was in New York the last time that they went to the World Series. It's been a long time now for them. And no, they're the Phillies of the AL. They brought the band back, and what did they actually do? Kluber any better than Tanaka? Like, is their pitching any better, or are they just again relying on the health of Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge?
Oh gosh.
4th and 20 with Toast and Marsh, weekday mornings from 8 to 10.
Inter Miami CF, your official furniture and mattress store, is here. City Furniture is your #1 home source for the trends you want at the prices you'll love, including exclusive City Furniture collections, the widest selection of styles, affordable home accents, mattresses starting at just $99 and more. Create the home of your dreams fast with next-day delivery, plus get 60 months special financing with no down payment. Because City Furniture is here to make it easy so everyone can live life like this, visit cityfurniture.com.
Hey, it's Big O. You know, air quality in your home or business is so important now, folks. That's why you've got to call M&S Air Conditioning. Let them install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that attracts, captures, and destroys biological contaminants to improve your air quality. M&S is always on call from 7:30 a.m. till 9 o'clock p.m. and, of course, emergency Sundays. Call for more info on high-efficiency air filters and their preventative maintenance plans. Visit M&S Air Conditioning at ac-florida.com.
Welcome back to Kai's Corner. To reach out to Kai, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. Back to Kai's Corner.
Okay, now we're going to get into some sports stuff. We're going to make sure that we can cover all this. We're going to cover soccer, and more specifically the Bundesliga. So for those who are normal listeners, you would know that I am a big soccer guy. More specifically, since my favorite football player in Thomas Müller plays for Bayern Munich, they are my favorite soccer team. They play in the Bundesliga. I like them a lot, and I watch the Bundesliga a lot. I follow the Bundesliga a lot. I keep a very, very close eye to what is happening around the Bundesliga, and it's huge because when Champions League soccer is happening, Europa League soccer is happening, if I ever have to talk about it or if I ever have to bring anything up, I know pretty in-depth what I'm talking about with a lot of these teams, which is good, a lot of these Bundesliga teams. So when we continue to go through and talk about the Bundesliga, match day 26 just recently happened and passed and gone away. Now we're going to have the break for international games, which is something that was really hard for a lot of these teams because German teams and English teams are dealing with a lot when it comes to what's happening just in their respective countries alone. And now a lot of that comes from the fact that right now Germany and their government are not very keen to what's happening with the new variants with England and the UK, so they don't let a lot of those players in. Those players are able to actually go for international break, which is cool. But we start with this past Friday on match day 26. So Leipzig played Arminia Bielefeld. Bielefeld won the Bundesliga 2 last season, got promoted, but they just had an interesting season. They're pretty behind on the table. They're fighting for relegation right now. So they're kind of in a situation where it looks like they're probably going to drop. They're in 17th, but they could come back. I mean, they sit down at 22 points. Cologne dropped points as well, so they could probably go through there. They only got 1 point after they were ahead on the weekend against Dortmund, but we'll get into that. Bayern started the day off at 10:30. They played against Stuttgart. That was on Saturday. They went down to 10 men after Canadian sensation Alphonso Davies got a red card in the 11th minute. They were getting absolutely dominated for those first 11 minutes of the game. After the red card, it seemed like Stuttgart, who are also recently promoted, but they're higher up in the table, they were just not in the same boat. They just were not playing well, and their own coach even said that they played like a promoted team. The game that interests me the most, well, I guess second to most out of all of this, was Frankfurt versus Union Berlin. Now, if you listen to my show when it was on Saturdays previously, and if you listen to anything I've talked with Austin Robillard about in his show, Red Card Radio, here on Saturday from 11 to 1, I was harping on Union Berlin, and I've been doing it on my Twitter. I've been doing it everywhere. Union Berlin were promoted to the Bundesliga last season. Through 26 games, they're sitting at 38 points. They're over teams who have been in the Bundesliga for a long time right now. In Freiburg, Gladbach, Hoffenheim, Augsburg, Berlin, all these teams. Mainz, who could be getting relegated soon. So they're over a lot of these teams right now at this point in the season. And they were in a Champions League spot for a majority of the season until they started to drop a lot of points. They've drawn 11. They were dropping point after point after point. And it was just getting so frustrating to watch because I'm sitting here absolutely just loving what I'm watching out of Union Berlin. They have guys like Max Kruse who are doing so great, coming back in form, being a leader on this young, newly promoted team. And they've just been dropping so many points. But they're still in a position for European qualification. They're 2 points behind Leverkusen, who dropped points on the weekend. And then they're only 5 behind Borussia Dortmund, who also dropped points on the weekend. So they could still finish in a Champions League spot, which would be fantastic. It would be absolutely fantastic if we were able to do that, if Union Berlin were able to do that. But that they just got thrashed over the weekend. It's not going to help their goal difference. If they won, they would currently be in a Europa League spot. That is being taken by Leverkusen. Frankfurt absolutely throttled them. And they're fighting with Frankfurt, Dortmund, and Leverkusen. There's still a lot of games left to go. There's 8 games left to go. Anything can happen in that, 4-game stretch there. Even maybe a Wolfsburg could start to drop points, although they're doing very well. The next game that happened was Cologne, which is FC Cologne, which is another team there in Germany that played at the Rhein Energy Stadion. They played against Borussia Dortmund. Very quickly on in the game, Norwegian sensation Erling Haaland scores a goal, puts Dortmund up, dominating the game. Cologne then go ahead and score 2 goals, put themselves up in it 2-1. Having a chance to win the game, Erling Haaland has another shot, misses, can't make it go through. Then another situation happens where Haaland is able to score a goal and draw the match, keeping Dortmund at least with a point. So they had 3 points, let Cologne go up 2. Cologne just couldn't hold on, and Dortmund then goes ahead and makes sure that they get points back. I personally think that Erling Haaland, if he plays one more year in the Bundesliga, I would be shocked. Now his release clause of 80 million, I believe, kicks in, or it might be 120. No, I think it's 80. Kicks in, I believe, next season. It might be this summer, but I believe it's next season. So that could happen if he wants to choose where he goes, because then, Dortmund doesn't have to be involved. Team can just pay his release clause and he can go where he wants. So I wouldn't be shocked too much, but I don't think he plays another year. It wouldn't be shocking if he did, but I don't think he plays another year in the Bundesliga. He is very clearly upset with what's happening in Dortmund right now and just is not happy game by game basis. He is getting more and more frustrated. You can see it on his face. You can see it in every thumbnail possible. He is not happy. And that is one of just the biggest things that I can mention there. So Cologne ties with Dortmund. They're able to get some points back, or Dortmund at least. Cologne should have had their points originally, not able to do so. They only get 1 point, which doesn't help them too much, because if they won that match, they're up and not in relegation spot. Mainz is, and Hertha Berlin aren't as well. Then you go on to the next game. Werder Bremen and Josh Sargent, U.S. talent Josh Sargent, lost to Wolfsburg. Wolfsburg being able to continue to climb up the table. They're now only 6 points behind Leipzig, 10 behind Bayern. They're not going to win the league in Wolfsburg, but they could potentially secure second place. And it's been a crazy year for Wolfsburg, like an absolutely stunning, shocking run of form. Borussia Mönchengladbach on Saturday this was about 1:30, I believe. They went ahead and they played off against Schalke. Schalke right now, they're going to get relegated. They only have 10 points through 26 match days. They're going to be gone. Hoffenheim lost to Mainz. Now, Chris Richards, American talent, loaned from Bayern to Hoffenheim. He was the reason for the first Mainz goal. Then he was the reason for the only Hoffenheim goal, an outstanding pass, great first touch by the striker for Hoffenheim. I cannot remember his name right now, so I do apologize. It was Bebu. Okay, yeah, Elas Bebu, who was able to get a great first touch. Awesome, awesome goal. Unfortunately, then Mainz do go up with a second, and then they win the game. Hertha Berlin, who have been having a horrible season all year, they just absolutely thrashed Leverkusen 3-0. And then Freiburg, in a game that doesn't really matter on Sunday later in the day, beat Augsburg. It matters for relegation for Augsburg, but besides that, it was just one of those other insignificant games. The Bundesliga will be back in 11 days after this international break for match day 27. There will be some interesting games on that one. I will potentially have a special guest on, and I'll talk to him about that. Not today, but in the future here, in short future as well. So we will have that, so make sure you're looking out for that. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to leave any comment you want possible. I am reading what is happening, so if you have any questions at all, leave them there. Same thing on the text line at 844-416-8123. Again, that's 844-416-8123. You can watch on YouTube, like I said, at Onside Radio. You can search that up. Make sure you subscribe. Like the videos. You can find mine, Big O, 4th and 20. And then also Alex Donald, Man of the Match. You can find all the weekend programming that we have as well. That's Juan on Juan. That's Sunday Sports Drop. Talk about sports. Red Card Radio. Sean's show is on there as well. Christian Chase, his show is on there. That's with Alex Aguirre. You can find all of those on there as well in the weekend programming live stream, so you can see us. You can interact with us in the chat. And then again, on the text line at 844-416-8123. Coming up, we're going to have on Ricky J. Mark. You can find him on Twitter at Ricky J. Mark. That's M-A-R-C. We're going to talk about the Miami Heat and their recent poor run of form. You're listening to OnsideRadio.com.
Now streaming online.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Okay, men. This is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're gonna go out there and be an all-star caregiver. It's up to you. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna go grocery shopping, cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You gotta dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Don't you forget about the pharmacy. I know you won't, because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. This is your time to show the world, your family, and yourself that you're tougher than tough. Now go out there and be the best caregiver this world has ever seen. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Take Onside Radio everywhere you go with a Radio FM app. Download the free app and listen to your favorite OnsideRadio.com host. Go to your app store, download Radio FM, and search Onside Radio, South Florida's sports station.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Riddle me this. With all this sizzling meat and crunchy veggies nestled between toasty flatbread, who should get credit for Papa John's new papadilla? The person who invented pizza or the person who invented folding? Well, whoever it is, a tip of the tongue hat to you, sir or madam. Get a new papadilla, 4 flavors, just $6 each. Better ingredients, better pizza, better than a sandwich. Papa John's.
Keeping you informed in the world of sports. With an OnsideRadio.com sports update.
A rough Sunday for South Florida sports teams. The Miami Heat, they lose to the Indiana Pacers in overtime, 109-106. Miami has now lost 3 in a row. They'll be back tomorrow night against the Suns. Florida Panthers, they also dropped the game to the Lightning, 5-3. They'll travel to Chicago, take on the Blackhawks for tomorrow night. Keeping on the rough Sunday for South Florida sports, the weekend was rough for the Miami Hurricanes. Their baseball team got swept by the Seminoles of Florida State. And the Florida Gators, their March Madness run came to an end also. Upset by number 15 seed Oral Roberts, 81-78. This is South Florida's new choice for local sports talk. This is OnsideRadio.com.
Kai's Corner. You can send Kai a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
And we're back. We're going to have on Ricky J. Mark now from 5 Reasons Sports. You can find him on Twitter at Ricky J. Mark. You'll be able to see some of the shenanigans that he has, as well as having him on the post-game show for the Heat. I think you do the pregame show, correct, as well sometimes, Ricky?
Yeah, I do the pregame show. Actually, more often than postgame, believe it or not.
Yeah, I feel like I do see you a lot more on the pre. I had to think for a second. I was like, I'm pretty sure I see him on the pregames more than I do in the postgames, because usually the postgame is Royal and most of that crew, and he spearheads it. We're going to get right to it, Ricky. The Heat, what do you think about it right now? I guess the best way to put it is, how do you think about the Heat's current run of form? Obviously, it's just 3 games, but it has been a little bit questionable. What are your thoughts?
So here's what we have right now. The Miami Heat have lost their last 3 games. They're on a 3-game losing streak. You can easily repackage this as saying The Heat have won 11 of their last 15 games. But if we really look at it in terms of big picture, since February 1st, the Miami Heat are 15-9. When you consider, however, that half of those wins came against teams that are not that good to begin with, Sacramento, Toronto, Atlanta, before the firings, Cleveland, Chicago, New Orleans, Orlando, it's not that encouraging. We can say that the Heat have won these games, but they were supposed to win these games. The reason why Miami's struggling right now is in part because of what they've had to deal with earlier in the season, and the fact that their style of play at this moment is not sustainable over the course of a 72 or 82 game season. Jimmy Butler is basically being relied upon to average almost a triple-double just for the team to have a chance. Bam Adebayo's been out, and now that he's back, we don't know yet whether or not he's going to be the aggressive Bam that you need, the aggressive Bam that a lot of people believe deserved that max contract that he pushed for early into the season. And outside of those two guys, who do you have? Tyler Hero's had an up-and-down season. Kendrick Nunn has had an up-and-down season. And outside of those guys, there's really no one else that you can rely upon with Goran Dragic in his mid-30s and nursing injury after injury.
With everything that's happening right now, and I talked to Royal about it last week, and one of the things I asked him was if he thought that the Heat needed to do more in terms of go out and get after another trade. They get after Trevor Ariza. You get another guy, you get a trade, you get rid of the other guy that, name shall not be said, and you get rid of everything that's with that person. What else needs to happen right now? Do you have to go out and get a Kyle Lowry? Do you have to go out there and pursue him? What do you give up for a Kyle Lowry? How do you go about this in making sure you can get some other assets for this team?
I think Heat fans need to come to terms with the fact that we cannot be too attached to players in this on this team. Outside of Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler, absolutely no one should be considered untouchable. Because at this point, when you look at Heat history, in order for the Miami Heat to have taken that next step into championship contention, they've had to give up players that they otherwise would have liked. In the 2004 offseason, you saw fan favorites like Caron Butler, Brian Grant, and Lamar Odom get traded to the Lakers for Shaquille O'Neal in a 2006 NBA championship. In the mid-'90s, you saw guys like Steve Smith, Sherman Douglas, even Glenn Rice get traded away for guys like what would eventually become Tim Hardaway and Alonzo Mourning, and the closest to championship contention as Miami had seen up to that point. Miami needs to bring in a dynamic wing at this point. There's a lot of talk about guys like John Collins, LaMarcus Aldridge, Rudy Gay. I think I've kind of cooled on Rudy Gay since Trevor Ariza has come to the team. But at this point, when you consider what this team needs, they need help in the backcourt, because right now you're relying on a second-year player in Tyler Hero and a glorified spot-up shooter in Duncan Robinson who gives you just about nothing if his shot isn't falling. You need a wing. You need a backcourt mate for Jimmy Butler, because Jimmy's not getting any younger. He's 31 years old. We don't know when his durability is going to when his durability is going to shut down, especially considering he's been dealing with injury problems, especially his ankle this season. And, you don't want to waste that prime opportunity to win a championship. Time is of the essence and the clock is ticking. So I would say someone like Victor Oladipo, if he's available, which I think he would be.
And you would give up what for that? Would you give up, as you said, the glorified spot shooter and Tyler Hero?
At this point, yes. Like I said, I am not wed to any player on this roster outside of Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. They are your core. You trade what you need to trade in order to get and some additional help, because right now those guys aren't giving you what you need, and it is very possible that even in this league right now, Duncan Robinson, as one-dimensional as he is probably going to get a lot of money this offseason that I don't think Miami is in a position to pay. Right now, these are the kind of guys, these are the assets that Miami needs to give up in order to bring in a guy like Victor Oladipo, who's an all-star caliber shooting guard type player.
So you would just make it work no matter what. You go out there and you try to figure out what you got to do to get in a guy like a Victor Oladipo for whatever it takes, essentially, because as you said, you've had to make moves like this in the past, and Duncan and Tyler, to your point about fan favorites, are fan favorites. So you would make sure that you have to just go out and essentially pull the Band-Aid off. It's time, just do it, especially, as you mentioned, you're going to have to pay Duncan if you want to, and he will most likely get a lot of money.
Yeah, and you know what it is? I think at the end of the day, you know what fans love more than fan favorites? Parades down Biscayne Boulevard.
Oh, yeah.
When the Miami Heat won those 2 championships in 2012 and 2013, do you think anybody was crying about the fact that they don't get to see Michael Beasley in his braids anymore? No, they were happy that LeBron James, Chris Bosh, and D Wade were in town. The Heat were a title town, and that it was a party on Biscayne. It was a party in Miami every night, pretty much for the entire summer, because the Heat were the champions. The Heat have a chance right now to put themselves in position to be championship contenders, if not this season, next season. And they have to do what is necessary in order to make that happen. And I believe that Pat Riley agrees with me.
So besides a trade, let's say that the trade isn't the thing that makes everything happen, right? Where they don't make a trade, for whatever reason it sticks out. What can you do with the current core? What would you want to do? How would you, if you were put into Eric Spoelstra's shoes, how would you continue to change the rotation, change the starting lineup? What would you do to make it work with what we currently have?
Well, most importantly, I think we need a much more aggressive Bam that is aware of his abilities, because Bam Adebayo is one of the most skilled players on this roster, and we've seen he's capable of taking over a game if he wants to. He's not going to take over a game by constantly doing dribble handoffs and not even facing the basket. This is a guy who is agile enough to blow past slower defenders and strong and physical enough to dominate smaller tweener-type players. He needs to take advantage of that. This guy has essentially the physique of a prime Chris Webber, who in his prime was a 24-13 guy. There's no reason why Bam Adebayo can't average those numbers and take his team to the promised land. You know, we all have flashbacks to Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals when Bam pretty much took over, attacked the basket, pretty much dunked on the entire city of Boston, led us to the NBA Finals, and we were thinking, wow, look at the future that we have. We've got Tyler Hero, we've got Bam Adebayo. But the thing is, if Bam doesn't understand that he needs to be aggressive, he needs to take advantage of the skills that he has, then Miami's going to be in a holding pattern until that day comes.
Ricky, thank you so much for joining, man. Again, you can find him on Twitter at RickyJMark. You can find him on the 5 Reasons pregame shows, and you can hear him there, as well as in-depth tweets every now and then where he'll just have something to say that'll make you kind of think a little bit. So make sure you go follow him. Again, that's at RickyJMark, M-A-R-C. Ricky, I hope you have a great rest of your day, man.
My pleasure. You too. Be good, man.
Thank you. Interesting stuff. The Heat, it's a weird situation right now. I think we were talking about how great it can be, and I think you can look at it both ways, like you said, and you can kind of have your own opinion on it. You can say, 11 out of the last 15, they've been doing great. They've been doing good since Jimmy came back. I think these 3 losses are a stain on the team, and we'll have to see what happens, of course, when it comes to trading stuff. And speaking of trading stuff, if you want to, or not that you already haven't, but Inside the Paint will be here on Thursday. They'll be talking, that's of course, Ira Winderman and Ethan Skolnick. They'll be talking about the Heat and assuming everything that's happening right now. If they make a trade, you'll be able to hear anything that they have to say. That's every Thursday, where you can catch Ira and Ethan, usually from 10:30 to 11. You'll be able to hear them as they do Inside the Paint here at OnsideRadio.com.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
Let's raise a cup to the first among us who put themselves last. To the risk takers, the mask makers, the heroes on the front line and online. To the ones keeping shelves full and keeping us hopeful. To those who don't stop and those making all the stops. To the ones who pick up, suit up, and never let us down. From all of us at Duncan to all the heroes keeping everyone running, we thank you.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding.
Whoa!
Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
You can't buy a best friend. You can love them, walk them, pet them, and care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture or 50. You can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that, but you can adopt one. There are millions of pets waiting for a best friend just like you. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
When you hunger for sports talk, there's only one option. Taco About Sports with David Friedman. Every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. Join David every weekend as he takes a different angle to sports. Tune in every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. for Taco About Sports with David Friedman, exclusively at OnSideRadio.com.
These are unprecedented times, challenging how the YMCA works to strengthen community as we have for nearly 170 years. But we've always found ways to help people and communities in times of crisis. Right now, Ys across the country are providing emergency childcare, shelter, food programs, and outreach to seniors. But we can't do it alone. Whether you're connected to the Y or have a fond Y memory, we need you to stay with us. Reach out to your local Y today and stay with us for a better us.
The fighting spirit of the Marine Corps is born of battles won. Battles won within, over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. It's who we are. It's what we do. It's a promise made to you for more than 2 centuries. A promise of the Marines.
Okay, forest animals, today is a new day. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow.
Yes?
Have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. Okay, River.
Dude.
How's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man. Perfect for a little riverside shoeless relaxation.
Ah, good. Owl, you here? Course. Who's asking? I am. Look, you know the drill. Sleep during the day, scare the kids at night. Perfect. I love my job. Oak Tree?
What's up?
Still in the same place I left you last year. That's what I like. Consistency.
Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere for the next couple hundred years.
I know. I love it. Turtle. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. You'd think he would have learned by now to leave the night before our meetings. Okay. Squirrel. Has anybody seen Mr. Squirrel?
The forest has been preparing just for you. Visit a forest near you today. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's Big O. You know, air quality in your home or business is so important now, folks. That's why you've got to call M&S Air Conditioning. Let them install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that attracts, captures, and destroys biological contaminants to improve your air quality. M&S is always on call from 7:30 a.m. till 9 o'clock p.m. and, of course, emergency Sundays. Call for more info on high-efficiency air filters and their preventative maintenance plans. Visit M&S Air Conditioning at ac-florida.com.
Welcome back to Kai's Corner. To reach out to Kai, send a text to 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
All right, we've been beating around the bush for a while. We've been waiting to mention it. For those who are regular listeners, you would know that I am all about the Miami Dolphins every single day of every single week, and that's primary. I talk about the Dolphins and I talk about soccer. That's my primary fix there. So I've been waiting a little bit, even waited yesterday. Wanted to get most of my thoughts out there. Wanted to get everything I could possibly think of collected before I mention anything. Isaiah Wilson was waived by the Miami Dolphins, and this followed a video that was up on his Instagram of him drinking, and he was with another person, and it just wasn't a good look. I had thoughts on it before when the trade first happened, and I will continue to stand on the hill that I will want to die on with. I don't think that being a Brian Flores guy matters. I think you take chances on potential because you take chances on potential. They took a chance. They tried to help him. He was late for his physical. He did not show up to the workouts that are not mandatory, but that he said that he would show up to. And therefore, he is gone. I'm not concerned about the trade. I'm not concerned about any assets the Miami Dolphins may or may not have lost. I'm concerned about the person. Isaiah Wilson, if somehow, some way, you're listening to the roundtable, if somehow, some way, you're listening right now, please, or anyone around him, if you're listening, please get him some sort of help. Clearly, what is happening right now with Isaiah Wilson is not good, and it's going down a path where, though number is skewed, he might hit the 80% of NFL players who end up going broke. And I will hope that that does not happen. Obviously, any signing bonus money he might have gotten was voided by the Tennessee Titans. Any guaranteed money he had does not exist anymore, as it was voided. And the Dolphins get off of this squeaky clean. But again, I don't necessarily care too much about the Dolphins in this. I care about the person, not Isaiah Wilson. He definitely needs to get some help. He needs to get somebody, anybody in his life, anybody around him who could just be a standby friend, could just be a family member he hasn't talked to in a few years. Someone needs to help him. I don't care about wasted potential. I don't care about what a player could have been, what a player was, the amount of snaps he made. I don't care what you want to say about the player. I care about the player. And if you're talking about this situation with Isaiah Wilson, if you have an opinion on this situation about Isaiah Wilson, I think it should start at that. Care about Isaiah Wilson. Now, if he continues to deny help and continues to not try to get any help that he definitely clearly needs, then at that point, if you want to give up, I will understand. But as a person, as a human being, Isaiah Wilson should not be given up on. And I think he just desperately needs to get the help that he so clearly needs. And if he can do that, that'll be great for him. It'll be great for his mental health. It'll be great for those around him. And it'll hopefully be a situation where he's not one of the 80%. You know, Toast and Marsh, they mentioned Delonte West. Right now, with the help of Mark Cuban, Delonte West is at least doing better. Isaiah Wilson needs someone like Mark Cuban. I don't care about the money aspect. I'm just saying he needs someone to go out there and help him. And again, if he denies all that hate, if he doesn't care about any of it at all and doesn't want to try to get helped, then I understand. You, as a person, if you decide you want to give up on him, I understand. But as of this current point in time, I will not give up on Isaiah Wilson and wanting him to get help. I will not give up on wanting him to hopefully get his life on track. And I think that nobody else should. Those are my thoughts on that. I just feel for the guy. Like that's the biggest thing for me. I could care less about what's happening with the Dolphins in the situation. The pick, I don't care. Whatever it is, I don't care. I just hope that he gets better. And when it comes to Chris Greer, you know, You can't fault Greer for taking a chance. You can't fault Brian Flores for taking a chance. Took a chance with Josh Rosen. Neither of these worked out, but you take your chances. So you got to. That's just you take your chances on talent because that's just what you do in the NFL. You take your chances on talent. In the next hour, as we round off hour 1 here and get into hour 2, we'll talk some more Dolphins. We're going to talk about Tua Tagovailoa and some potential help that he might be getting in the draft. Then we're going to talk with Jazz Santana about college basketball and March Madness, and then as well, just what is going on right now with the Hurricanes baseball team. This is Kai's Corner, and you're listening to OnSideRadio.com.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey, is that a faucet running?
Nope, that's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest.
It is?
Yeah, forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink. The water comes straight from the forest to us. In fact...
What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum.
That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest cleaning up the air we breathe.
How do trees clean the air?
They soak up the dirty air on their leaves, branches, and trunks, which means clean air for us.
Cool. I didn't know that.
Yep. But the forest does more than give us clean air and water. It gives us shade for hot days, birds to listen to, and trees to climb.
Wow, that's awesome. I didn't know how cool the forest could be. Hey, let's go explore some more.
Visit the forest today and enjoy all it does, just for you. To learn more about the forest and find one near you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You're listening to OnSideRadio.com. Catch up anytime by downloading the MyTuner Radio app. OnSideRadio.com, South Florida's true hometown station.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
OnSideRadio.com knows gamers need a home.
Can you dig it?
That's why for the next 60 seconds,
Can you count, suckers?
here's your On-Side Radio E-Report with Kai Chen Chisholm.
Game studio Innersloth recently announced that the new map in their popular multiplayer game Among Us will release on March 31st along with multiple updates. The map will bring new spawn locations, bug fixes, more tasks, and much more for players to do. The studio, which does have a small development team, saw the game increase in popularity at random in the summer, over 2+ years after its original release. Streamers such as the group Offline TV, in particular Disguised Toast, took off in popularity with the rise of the game and have been expecting an update for quite some time. While they've been waiting for the updates, streamers have been using mods in the game made by modder Automated to spice things up. The game can be played on PC, Nintendo Switch, iPhone, Android, and soon on Xbox.
Stay in touch in the world of gaming with the Onside Radio E-Report. It's time for Kai's Corner on OnsideRadio.com. To talk to Kai, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. To reach out on the text line, it's 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm on your home for sports talk, OnsideRadio.com.
Hour 2, standing by. I am Kai Chen Chisholm. Of course, Sean, the producer of all producers, making everything right, making sure that everything here is running up to snuff. Oh, he has something to say now.
I try.
Of course, Sean, you do obviously could not do literally anything without you. Like I could not. I'm just the voice.
I'm sure you could hit the button back here pretty well.
Yeah, but no. You make it happen.
Give yourself some credit, man.
I do. I give myself some credit for sure. But Sean, of course, the producer of all producers here, helping out every single day as always. Hour 2 here of Kai's Corner. Again, you can watch on YouTube. Anyone there on YouTube, hello, how's it going? And on Twitch. If you have anything to say, I'm watching the YouTube comment section, so you can ask me anything there, as well as texting the text line at 844-416-8123. That is 844-416-8123. When you're on the YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe. We're at 246. We're on the road to 1,000 right now. That is the milestone we've set thus far for ourselves. Of course, we'll go higher and higher and up and up and up. So make sure you go there. You can also like the stream. You can watch the video after the fact. So if you want to see it live while you're or not live, I guess, but you want to see it after the fact, after the shows, you want to watch it, you can do that. You can find everything in podcast form as well by searching up just my podcast in general. You can find Kai's Corner. You can find that on anywhere that you like to listen to your podcast. You know, Spotify, Apple Podcasts is my preferred. I'm in the minority for people because I like Apple Podcasts and I like Apple Music instead of Spotify and yada, yada, yada. But you can find those there as well as all our shows that we have here on Onside. You can search all of those up. Hour 2. In hour 1, we talked with Ricky J. Mark from 5 Reasons Sports. We talked about the Miami Heat and their situations that's happening right now. A little bit of a poor run of form. We discussed the Isaiah Wilson situation. I will continue to say I hope that Isaiah Wilson gets the help that he needs. And if he just denies all of it, then I can understand why people wouldn't want to stay in his corner. Of course, we're here in my corner. We also talked about the Bundesliga. We talked about spring breakers ruining our cities here in Miami. And now we're going to talk about the Dolphins more precisely and obviously specifically Tua. Now, I think that we've all, if officially at least, gotten on the side of a trade at this current point in time is not happening for Deshaun Watson. So for now, stick it out and understand that Tua is the quarterback. So we look for weapons. Now, the Dolphins did get Tua at least one potential weapon in a Will Fuller the fifth. We talked about that on Friday, and we gave all of our thoughts. I believe it was also on Thursday, but no, I'm pretty sure it was only Friday that we had mentioned that. But we talked about Will Fuller and what he brings to the table. It's Will Fuller the fifth, and everything that he potentially brings to the table for the Miami Dolphins and for Tua. The fact that he is that down-the-field threat that we could use, who can catch the ball. Shout out Louis D. Sung, because, of course, I guess roast or have very fun arguments with him about 19, because 19 cannot catch the ball. So we go on and we get someone in Will Fuller who is a downfield threat. Now, injuries are there, but he can catch the ball, which is what we need right now. We led a lot of drop categories last year. They could have gone after a few more people. We expected them to go after a Juju Smith-Schuster. They don't. Apparently, he had an offer from KC, and the Ravens decided to go back to the Steelers on a 1-year, $8 million deal, which apparently is what he preferred. Interesting enough, because, you know, he was saying that he was a free agent, that he most likely was going to be gone and out and not a part of the Steelers. He even sent kind of that message on Twitter to Steelers fans, kind of, you know, it read as a, I'm gone. Peace out. See you later. Adios. And that's not what happened at all. So interesting situations. Then, of course, Kenny Gallaudet signs a deal with the New York Giants, which was another very interesting one for me because it looked like that was going to be the case. But the Giants and Kenny Gallaudet just seemed like such an odd pairing to have. It seemed like it didn't really make any sense, and maybe he was going where the most money was being thrown. Couldn't really understand it too much. And that's about it. I mean, Curtis Samuel gets a really good deal with the Washington football team. Tua gets Will Fuller. And now we turn to the draft because that's primarily where we're going to have to look at getting him some targets, where we're going to have to look at getting him someone who can really help him. And my thoughts on all of this is that I want the Dolphins to go after a wide receiver in the draft later on, but not with their first pick. I talked about this a little bit last week and mentioned it because I just think that the player is so very dominant. And we've seen 2 tight end sets work in the NFL before. And because we've mentioned it a lot, I'm not going to very specifically stay on this topic, and I'll move on a little bit. But at number 3, listen, unless a trade down doesn't work, at number 3, go out there and get Kyle Pitts. Go out there and draft Kyle Pitts at number 3, where we'll be in Cleveland, the draft going crazy, people able to see that Kyle Pitts will be the next gigantic target, who would be a top tier talent if he was deemed a wide receiver. But at tight end, he is a top talent. Go out there and get Kyle Pitts. Now, I'm doing a situation in a simulator right now where I'm trading down to 8. Thus far, because this is a realistic thing, you know, you trade down to 8. Panthers trade up if they can't get their quarterback. They go out, they trade up, and they try to get a Zach Wilson or a Justin Fields, however that shakes up. Dolphins will be able to trade down as much as they want. They'll be able to look at things. You figure it's going to be, unless there's a player involved, pick 8 for pick 3 plus a first. So that's the trade that I did. In this sim, Lawrence, Fields, Wilson, Lance, and then Penny Sewell, Jalen Waddle, Jamar Chase, and the run-on wide receivers could go. This would be the perfect and most ideal situation if you want to go after a guy like Kyle Pitts. He drops there to 8, go out there and grab him. And I'm not saying this because I'm a Gators truther. I'm just saying it because Kyle Pitts is outstanding. He is a dominant player. So you go out there and grab him. Then you can go after an edge rusher if you want to at 18. You go after a running back in Najee Harris at 18. If you walk away from day one with a Najee Harris and a Kyle Pitts, or a Najee Harris and who else could we? A Devonta Smith, a Jalen Waddle, even Jamar Chase. If you walk away with those, a pairing of a dominant tight end or 3 very good wide receivers, plus the person who's been deemed as the best running back in this draft, you're walking away so happy. And you're leaving your guy in Tua Tagovailoa over the moon. Over the moon. Then if you are, wanting to go after defensive talent, go out there and get a guy in the second round like a Levi Owuzurike, a Jalen Phillips, a Baron Browning. If you want to go at corner again, Asante Samuel Jr. Get a center in Creed Humphrey. Jabril Cox at linebacker. Rondale Moore if you want to double up on a receiver. If you don't get the running back in the first round, Javonte Williams. There's so much that you can do for the Dolphins to get offensive talent in the first and secure someone for your young second-year quarterback in Tua to be happy and to give him all the tools needed to potentially have just an outstanding season. You give him a Kyle Pitts. You give him a Devonta Smith, a Jamar Chase, a Jalen Waddle, a Najee Harris, a Javonte Williams, Rondale Moore, Amari Rogers, Dwayne Eskridge. Not saying that those guys in Amore, Eskridge, and Amari Rogers are going to be as touted, but in terms of a wide receiver class, this wide receiver class is very deep. You can get a Rondale Moore and be very happy as well, even if you already get a receiver. You can get an Amari Rogers and be extremely happy. You can get a Dwayne Eskridge and be extremely happy. There's a lot of talent that you can go out there and grab, and a lot of talent that you could be very, very happy with walking away from this draft if you're the Miami Dolphins. And it wouldn't be shocking if they start their first 3 picks going offense. I mean, you have to go wide receiver or playmaker, and Kyle Pitts is a playmaker, I guess, or tight end, where you go out there and you get Pitts or one of those 3 wide receivers, whoever's available, at 3 or at 8. Then you get a Najee Harris if no one else picks him at 18, or you have to trade up for him potentially. Then at 36, if you don't get any other picks in those situations, you get a guy potentially like a Creed Humphrey. If you decide, and in this one right here, I'm left with Levi Omuzuriki. I probably won't go back-to-back defensive tackles in the second round, but let's say that we just do that in terms of years. You go out there and get like a Baron Browning. You could still be potentially left with a guy like Creed Humphrey to grab with your second round pick. And you're sitting in a really good position. You could walk away with a Baron Browning, Creed Humphrey, Najee Harris, and Kyle Pitts, or Devonta Smith, or Jamar Chase, or Jalen Waddle. You pair that up with Will Fuller, Devontae Parker, Preston, sometimes injured Williams. By sometimes, I mean most of the time, let's be real. 19 if he learns how to catch. If not, maybe you can. I have a good idea, and I want to get Lewis's thoughts on this. So I'm gonna send him a message, or maybe I'll have a whole segment with him later on in the week. Why not move a 19 to like running back? He's got the speed for it. If you could teach him running back, you could have him swing out on some of those short yardage areas. You can probably try to get him. Maybe not a running back, but just use him more as a tool guy and not a receiver. Could that be possible with a guy like 19? Because wide receiver, as much as he did at Texas Tech, he is not that anymore. I don't know if last season was just an anomaly, because the season before, he had some drop balls, but it wasn't that bad. So if 19 can relearn how to catch, oh, beautiful. He will be the best playmaker on the team because of just what he can do. Or in general, just keep having him run goes. Just have him run deep every single play. Be a distraction. Just go every single play. Because I just can't stand it at this point. But you pair all those up. You try to get all those up. That's a very, very fun time for your young quarterback in Tua Tagovailoa. And that'll be by far the best and the greatest time you could have if you are Tua. You get your guy in Najee Harris. You get all these great playmakers in the draft that you can add to the playmakers you have now. Oh, man. I'll be loving life if I'm Tua. After the first round that night, having myself a nice little drink, enjoying life, and going on. Next, we're going to have on Jazz Santana. He hosts Sunday Sports Drop here from 7 to 9, 9 to 11 is one-on-one. From 7 to 9 on Sunday mornings. We're going to have him on. We'll talk about the Miami Heat a little bit in their recent games as well. We'll talk about the Dolphins a little bit, what he thinks they should do in the draft. And then more primarily, we're going to ask him what's going on with the Hurricanes baseball team and just the Hurricanes in general, what he thinks about the tournament, how those have happened, if his bracket got busted really early on or if it was on Sunday, like Sean said his did. So we'll talk to him about all that. Get your South Florida staple every afternoon as Alex Donno hosts the Man of the Match from 3 to 6 p.m. Donno covers everything from football to MMA. Tune into one of the most complete sports shows in the country with the Man of the Match with Alex Donno, 3 to 6 p.m., exclusively at OnsideRadio.com.
Sports fan.
Let's raise a cup to the first among us who put themselves last. To the risk takers, the mask makers, the heroes on the front line and online. To the ones keeping shelves full and keeping us hopeful. To those who don't stop and those making all the stops. To the ones who pick up, suit up, and never let us down. From all of us at Dunkin' to all the heroes keeping everyone running, we thank you.
I'm 54, so basically, it's too late to start saving for retirement, right?
Not right. Starting to save, even in your 50s, can really make a difference.
Well, right now, saving seems hard to wrap my head around. Plus, with the way this year's been going...
Hey, listen, it's okay. You still got this. Just go to aceyourretirement.org. It's an online tool from AARP that can help you get your retirement savings on track no matter your age. It's free and only takes about 3 minutes.
I like 3 minutes.
Yeah, at aceyourretirement.org, you'll chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach. Just answer a few questions and you'll get a personalized plan and tips to help boost your retirement savings. Tips that are easy to understand and tailored to your lifestyle.
I like that too.
Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back. Just head to aceyourretirement.org and make your plan to start saving for retirement.
Thanks.
That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
If you missed 4th and 20 with Toast and Marsh, you missed.
And the top trait they're looking for in a partner is someone that can cook better than them.
Wow.
Yeah. How are you at cooking?
I'm okay. I cook all my stuff.
What's your best dish? If I had to say, Marsh, this you're gonna eat in tonight with a girl. All right.
If I'm cooking for a girl, then I'm not cooking.
4th and 20 with Toast and Marsh, weekday mornings from 8 to 10.
Enter Miami CF, your official furniture and mattress store is here. City Furniture is your #1 home source for the trends you want at the prices you'll love, including exclusive City Furniture collections, the widest selection of styles, affordable home accents, mattresses starting at just $99 and more. Create the home of your dreams fast with next day delivery, plus get 60 months special financing with no down payment. Because City Furniture is here to make it easy so everyone can live life like this, visit cityfurniture.com.
Hey, it's Big O. You know, air quality in your home or business is so important now, folks. That's why you've got to call M&S Air Conditioning. Let them install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that attracts, captures, and destroys biological contaminants to improve your air quality. M&S is always on call from 7:30 a.m. till 9 o'clock p.m. and, of course, emergency Sundays. Call for more info on high-efficiency air filters and their preventative maintenance plans. Visit M&S Air Conditioning at ac-florida.com.
Welcome back to Kai's Corner. To reach out to Kai, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. Back to Kai's Corner.
All right, hour 2, second segment. Oh, Jesus. Sean got me cracking up in the middle of the break. We have Jazz Santana on here. He hosts Sunday Sports Talk from 7 to 9. Jazz, first of all, thank you for coming on. What was just happening with you and Sean?
I don't know, man. I don't know how you can deal with that guy on a daily basis. It's unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. His professionalism is off the charts, so I'll tell you that.
Just like yours, my friend. Just like yours.
You know it, baby. You know it.
Oh, my gosh. Of course, you can listen to Sunday Sports Shop here every Sunday with Jazz from 7 to 9. You can also follow him on Twitter at Jazz Santana. Jazz, I want to start off. There's a couple things I want to get through, but I want to start off with something very specific here. Because, one, I'm sure that there will be some. I've already been getting digs about losing to Oral Roberts, with being the Florida Gators. I want to ask you though, what is going on with UM baseball right now in the past games against FSU?
I don't know what the hell happened this weekend, man, but the shellacking and the embarrassing way that they lost all 3 games was just it was a bit surprising, to be honest with you, just because of how they've been playing lately and how they've been swinging the bat. So when you see them just go down by so many runs so quickly, it's just like right off the bat, boom, 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 and you don't expect it. It's ACC play. The ACC this year is very strong. It's competitive, so you're going to have some great matchups. But this was really not a very competitive series at all. We lost by double-digit runs every single night, I believe. And so I don't know, man. I really don't know what's going on. Bats all of a sudden disappeared. Thinking it was atrocious. A lot of errors, a lot of undisciplined errors. Everything. It just completely fell apart. So I don't know, man. They need to go back to the drawing board and figure it out, because that's not a top 5 team that we saw this weekend, definitely. So I expect them to take a dip in the ratings, and they just got to regroup and get back at it.
So you think everything will be fine, though, after just getting, like you said, it was a shellacking. They got destroyed this weekend.
Basically, it's a long season, man. I think that everything being fine, I guess we'll see. I don't know. I think that there's a lot of things that they need to correct. Maybe there's certain things that, it just is what it is. The pitching staff is young, aside from veterans. At least the rotation is. So there's going to be some growing pains with those guys there. As you can see, they're going to have their days. This is a part of becoming better. You're going to take your bumps in the road. You're going to have, outings where you're going to get, just torn apart. It is what it is. It's just a matter of how this team responds now, coming up against FAU this weekend, this week, and then, the next weekend series, to see if they can kind of rebound. And I guess that'll be the barometer, right? The kind of point where if they're going to be for real and still be that top 25 team and compete in the ACC, or if they're just going to, just tank and not be as good as we thought they were. But right now, they're not a top 5 team, especially with the outing that they had this weekend.
We pivot to the March Madness brackets that have been going on, and no perfect bracket exists now anywhere at all, because they've been crazy. Again, we're talking with Jazz Santana. You can find him on Twitter at Jazz Santana. Jazz, did you make a bracket, and how long did it take for it to get absolutely blown up?
Game 1 was when it got blown up.
Game 1?
Brackets. Yeah, not game 1, maybe the round of 64 obviously was completely shot, I think, for everybody. But when I saw Oral Roberts take down Ohio State initially, I was like, yeah, that's it. I knew this was going to happen, though. And I spoke about this on my show yesterday. March Madness, there's a reason it's called March Madness, right?
Yeah.
Like seven double-digit teams made it to the round of 32. Now you still got Oral Roberts, who, again, beat the Gators last night. You've got Loyola Chicago, who obviously now at this point we're like, all right, guys, they're pretty good. They're not a double-digit team, but they're still an 8th seed who's beating some really good competition. There's so many other teams, and I said this yesterday. I'm like, basketball is very similar to college baseball in the sense that there's so many players that, for one reason or another, whether they had issues in high school, maybe they got in trouble, they didn't have the grades, they had some sort of mix-up, that they weren't able to get into these big-time D1 schools, these big-time Power 5 conference schools, ended up going to a smaller school. And now you got 2 or 3 of those guys that end up playing for an Oral Roberts or a Loyola or whoever else, North Texas, those type of teams, right? And now you've got very competitive basketball. And in a one-game series, anything could happen when you stop that, right? A lot of these teams went out there and they beat some of the top programs in the country. And it's because they have talent. It's not that they don't have talent, but they don't see that type of talent every day. And so you get a team that gets hot, can beat Illinois, can beat Michigan, can beat those type of teams in one game. Now, if you spread it out into a 5-game series or a 7-game series, Oral Roberts probably doesn't beat Florida in a 5 or 7 game series, or Ohio State for that matter. So that's why March Madness is the way it is. That's why it's so much fun. That's why it's so competitive. That's why people love to watch it, because of things like this. Does it screw everybody's bracket up? Absolutely, because there's not one person that's going to take all these teams, to kind of make it to the Sweet 16 or whatnot. So it's crazy. I love it. I think it's exciting, but I'm going to be honest with you, I don't watch most of it until it gets into like the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8.
Yeah,
because
same
it's too
here.
many channels for me, Kai. There's too
Yeah.
many channels. I got to go to TBS. I got to go to TNT, the CBS.
You'd
No,
think they'd
man,
have
enough
that
of
down
crap.
by now, too. You'd have to think that one
Yeah.
of these big-name companies would want to go out there and bid for having at least all of these games on their platform by now.
Absolutely. Not only that, I mean,
What?
last night
What do you
I
have
went
to
out
say, Sean?
CBS.
Sean
God.
has something to say.
No, the parent companies do own the right. They're just putting it on.
But like, you'd have to think
on
that they'd-
Friday they have other programming on.
Well, no one cares about the other programming happening on Friday.
I mean, do you really want to see 60 Minutes over March Madness? Because that's what happened to me yesterday when I went to turn on CBS to watch some basketball. Maybe it was a little too late already, but I turned it on. It was CBS 60 Minutes, and I'm like, I don't want to watch this crap.
Some of the
I don't wanna watch
greatest
basketball.
TV moments have happened on 60 Minutes.
Oh God, it's true though. That just shows our age. All right, that's all it does.
Yeah. So really quickly, we're strapping on time here. In, I guess, 3 words or less, if you have to use a couple, it's fine. How do you describe the past 3 games for the Miami Heat?
Past 3 games for the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
Disappointing. I mean, yeah, it has been disappointing. That's 4.
Hey, it works. It's more than 3. That's fine, but it works. I'd have to agree with you there, and I like a lot of what you said about the March Madness bracket. Of course, you can find Jazz every Sunday from 7 to 9 a.m. here as he hosts the Sunday Sports Shop. You can follow him on Twitter at Jazz Santana. Jazz, thank you so much, man, and I look forward to hearing or talking with you again soon.
Fire Mike Smith, baby. Woo! See you later.
See you later. Sean, no one wants to watch 60 Minutes, like you said. No one wants to watch 60
It's not about the
Minutes.
60 Minutes, though. It's
But
the other
all this-
programming.
It's like, they have all these crappy shows that they put on. Like, there's some show now called, like, The Mayor. Like, it's all these shows. No one cares about these shows.
There's people out there that do care, and then now you put on True TV. Now you have ratings for your True TV.
is just oh my God.
Your TBS, you get ratings
one,
for
like,
TBS.
We have all of those where it's I can't remember what the shows are called. Anyways, maybe we'll talk about this a little bit when we come up. And I'm going to address. Don't worry, I see the comment in the YouTube section. We're going to address that coming up in the next segment. Want to thank Jazz again for coming on. Want to again thank Ricky for coming on in the first hour. You can find that in podcast form. Saturday mornings at 9 a.m., Sean Stanley hosts the Square Circle Digest. Now wrestling fans have a place to call home as Sean covers the very colorful world of wrestling and apparently enjoys watching True TV. Tune in every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on the home for sports fans worldwide, OnsideRadio.com.
Now streaming online. Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Okay, men. This is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're gonna go out there and be an all-star caregiver. It's up to you. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna go grocery shopping, cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You gotta dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Don't you forget about the pharmacy. I know you won't, because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. This is your time to show the world, your family, and yourself that you're tougher than tough. Now go out there and be the best caregiver this world has ever seen.
Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org.
AARP.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
The Radio.net app is real handy. OnSideRadio.com. Don't be caught without it.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Riddle me this. With all this sizzling meat and crunchy veggies nestled between toasty flatbread, who should get credit for Papa John's new papadilla? The person who invented pizza or the person who invented folding? Well, whoever it is, a tip of the tongue hat to you, sir or madam. Get a new papadilla, 4 flavors, just $6 each. Better ingredients, better pizza, better than a sandwich. Papa John's.
Keeping you informed in the world of sports. With an OnSideRadio.com sports update.
A rough Sunday of sports for South Florida sports teams. Easy for me to say. The Miami Heat, they lose to the Pacers in overtime 109-106. Miami's now lost 3 in a row. They're back in action tomorrow against the Phoenix Suns. Florida Panthers, they also dropped the game to the Lightning yesterday 5-3. They'll travel to Chicago tomorrow to take on the Blackhawks. As was just discussed, the Miami Hurricanes baseball team got swept by the Florida State Seminoles over the weekend. I believe they were outscored 34-2, I believe, in that weekend series. And the Florida Gators, their March Madness run came to an end. They were upset by 15 seed Oral Roberts, 81-78. This is South Florida's new choice for local sports talk, OnSideRadio.com.
Let's get back to Kai's Corner. You can send Kai a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, you're okay in my book now. We're friends again. Ryan Fitzpatrick was asked about Miami Dolphins quarterback 1, Tua Tagovailoa, earlier on the Ross Tucker podcast. Paraphrased a little bit. This is from Fins Up News on Instagram, tweeted out by Tua Tafoler on Twitter. Quote, he has elite accuracy and anticipation. Went on to say that he's never seen a guy get so much undeserved criticism, especially a rookie quarterback in the NFL. Thank you, Ryan. You're okay in my book again now. Love you bunches. If you're watching on YouTube or if you're listening, you can watch on YouTube and Twitch. Hello. How you doing? Hope you guys are having a great morning. As well to the audio listeners. Comment coming in from Herman Cueva from the YouTube. It says, Dolphins needs our wide receiver, running back, offensive line, edge, and safety. 100% agree. Says he likes Alabama center Landon Dickerson in about the 3rd round. Probably end second, 3rd round is where Dickerson will go. Shout out to you, Herman. Thank you for leaving the comment there. Again, you can follow on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. We're at 246 right now. Road to 1,000. That is our first milestone there. Like the stream. You can like the videos. You can find all of them, whether that's mine, Sean's, Tosin March, Alex Dono, Big O. You can find all of those, all the weekend program you can find here. I believe still the only one that isn't there is game night, because Michael does his through Skype as he is in Orlando. So that's the only one I believe still that is not live stream. But you can follow it there. You can see my antics. You can see everyone else while they're talking, and especially in the middle of rants. That's where I think things get the most interesting, because you get to see people really in their element as they go through with their rants. And for me, I always say I talk with my hands a lot, and that's a big thing for me and how I operate and do everything. But shout out to Herman again. Hello to the YouTube and Twitch viewers. You can find that if you're on audio. You can come over and listen to it on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the videos, like the live stream as well. And any comment you might have, not only can you leave it on the text line at 844-416-8123, you can also leave it there in the YouTube comment section. Whether you have a comment like Herman or you have a question, you can go ahead and ask me there and have a little chat with me. I will be chatting with you, especially on the text line. I will always respond to any of those. And the same thing here on YouTube. So speaking of the Dolphins again, and, sticking with, good on Ryan Fitzpatrick. I just want to keep commenting on that. Good on Ryan Fitzpatrick. I'm glad you said that, Ryan. I'm happy. I'm rounding off my day here, rounding off hour 2, very happy now because Ryan Fitzpatrick said what needed to be said.
Did you expect him to say anything else?
Yes. He was a mercenary
did you
last
think he was
year,
going to
Sean.
come out? Did you think he was going to come out and be like, let me tell you about this Tua guy?
Yeah. He was a mercenary last year.
This guy, Brian Flores, expects me to sit on the bench and back this guy up. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Ryan Fitzpatrick sitting on a bench backing up this guy Tua?
Heck yeah.
Ryan Fitzpatrick backs up no man. That's why I've come to the football
Listen, that's
team.
what the local and national media says, Sean, but not us here. We know the truth, Sean. We know the truth. We will tell you what it is.
I, Ryan Fitzpatrick, with 27 kids, back up no man.
Him and Phillip are at that, right? Like, I think Phillip has like 7 or 8. Maybe I think it might be 9. Ryan probably has like 7 too. They're trying to field an all 22 right now. Trying to get all those guys on there, guys and girls.
I just don't know what you expected them to say, though.
I mean, like, you don't have to comment. Some of these people,
if you're asked a question on a podcast,
some have been asked and they don't fully comment. They're just like, yeah, he's a good guy. Da, da. You know, like, I want to listen. I saw it earlier, and I'm going to listen to it on my way home so I can hear what he had to say without it being paraphrased. But, at least, like, he's going to be the Washington football team quarterback.
Yeah, but you knew his feelings last year were genuine. He was hurt that he felt he got blindsided by them starting him, and that's when he was like
a mercenary,
taken aback.
Yeah, I guess. I don't.
He's human. He's human. I don't know what you want him to say.
It's because of the people.
Tua doesn't deserve to be an NFL quarterback.
Hey, you know what?
My third son is better than Tua. I mean, what's he going to say?
You could say anything. He could have said anything. I'm just glad that he was very open and honest about his opinion. But I guess, like, maybe my view of Fitzpatrick, because no one here at Onside Radio believes that Ryan Fitzpatrick is a god. But, maybe it's because we talk very honestly, and we give everything, all honest opinions we could possibly give. And so maybe that's why my view is skewed because of other opinions outside of those here at OnsideRadio.com and on the YouTube and live stream on Twitch. So, you know what? Let me be happy about this, Sean. I'm happy that he was very nice and honest. And here's my actual biggest thing. I would just absolutely love for there to be a situation where Tua just comes out first week, balls out, and just puts an end to all of this talk. Because I'm getting so tired of it. I just want it to end. I want to be sitting here every Monday after we get out of games, or Tuesday, or Friday morning, and just be happy.
You know what's going to happen, right? If he comes out and he balls out, you know what's going to happen, right?
What?
Well, why couldn't he do it the last year? What was wrong with him last year? It's going to be something.
And I won't support that talk.
This is what we as fans get to do.
But I won't support that talk.
Why wouldn't
I
you?
refuse. And I was a Justin Herbert
You're
guy.
one of those guys where Tua can do no wrong, right?
No. I was a Justin Herbert guy.
No, you're worse than not Tua can do no wrong guy.
How? The Tua can do no wrong guys are insane. They're insane, and I know you see them
so
on
you're
Twitter.
a stats guy, basically, right? You want the big stats because you're not getting wins with Justin Herbert.
No. I was just a Justin Herbert guy because I felt as if Tua might possibly not come back with his injury or be the same person. So I was a Justin Herbert guy, and that was the only reason. I've said multiple times that he was the best college quarterback prospect that we've seen since Andrew Luck. Don't get it skewed, Sean. I like Tua a lot. I just am on the board of I think that he's getting a lot of undeserved criticism. Especially considering he was coming off of the rehab from like that horrible injury, Sean. I'm not like those people you find on Twitter. No. They're another level of crazy, Sean. An absolute other level of crazy. I can't. Where do you stand on it? Are you on Tua's side of things, or would you rather?
I had Tua tickets to the Super Bowl last year, just to let you know where my stand is. That's what I did. I had him going 16-0 and taking us, and he didn't even start the first 6 games. So,
but you had us going all the way. The big dance.
Of course I did. I'm a blind Dolphins fan.
Yeah, I guess. The hat's on, looking nice. Wish we could have a camera on Sean so he could pants himself.
It's better. The camera does not come on me. Yeah.
I want a camera on you so bad.
Saturday they get enough. That hour of me, 60 minutes of nothing but pure Sean sexiness.
And awesome wrestling talk.
Yeah, that's a bonus.
On the road to WrestleMania.
It's a bonus. Just to get to look at me for 60 minutes. That's the key.
That's what everyone wants to see. Wait, when is WrestleMania this year as well?
April 10th and 11th in Tampa Bay.
Oh, interesting. Didn't they do Tampa like not too long ago, or was it?
It's just the easiest thing for them to do. Basically, what they're doing is taking the way the Super Bowl did and basically rolling out the same thing.
Oh, like at Raymond James Stadium?
Yeah, they're going to do 25,000 on Saturday night and 25,000 on Sunday night. They originally wanted to try to get 45,000, right? But it did not work. Yep.
Has it been 2 days for a while?
Well, during the COVID, because they're just trying to get more content.
That's crazy. I completely forgot that it's like 2 days. Have you been to WrestleMania, Sean, before? Did you go when it was down here?
I went to the Rock versus John Cena down here. Yep.
Nice.
And the Undertaker Triple H Hell in a Cell. Yes.
I went to one match before, and then I had gotten tickets to go to that one, and I loved it. I absolutely loved every second of it. That was also, if my memory serves me correct, that was the match that Daniel Bryan lost in like 13 seconds or something.
13 seconds to Sheamus to open the show.
Yeah. I remember I wasn't even in my seats for that, and I remember it was like, oh, the match is already over, on to the next one.
Yeah, there's always that one match you'll get during WrestleMania that's got to be the filler.
That was the filler?
That was the filler.
And now
they just did it beforehand.
He's become like, a bigger thing too. Wasn't Daniel Bryan like the Raw general or SmackDown general manager for a while, and now he's back?
Well, again? He was injured. He had a neck injury. They said he'd never wrestle again, but through all these steps in medicine and everything else now, he came back. Edge is back. Christian's coming back, so there's a lot of guys coming back now.
Christian was out for a while too. The Edge and Christian duo was
they've all been out for over 7 years.
That was awesome. Like the Edge and Christian like ladder matches and the like Monday, like all that stuff. Like that was, I remember watching those and I loved that. That was my favorite time of watching wrestling. And obviously I like CM Punk a lot, so that's just the other thing.
So you like the pipe bomb guys. That's why you like Fitzpatrick.
I don't like Fitzpatrick.
You like the talkers.
I do. I mean, CM Punk was the guy where I looked at that and I was like, because I wanted to talk so much. Like I wanted to do like radio and talk about sports and everything, where I would watch him and it's like, that's the guy that can just drop a promo on just like that. Don't even need to do anything else. Just give him what he needs to do. He's got the promo out and away. So I loved CM Punk. Coming up, we'll round off hour 2, round off the show with Big O and the Crosstalk. And you can start your morning every day here on the weekdays at 8 a.m. with 4th and 20 with Toast and Marsh. The boys cover all the local sports stories while providing some great Hurricanes insight. Download, subscribe, rate, and review the podcast 4th and 20, 8 to 10 a.m. only at OnsideRadio.com.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
Let's raise a cup to the first among us who put themselves last. To the risk takers, the mask makers, the heroes on the front line and online. To the ones keeping shelves full and keeping us hopeful. To those who don't stop and those making all the stops. To the ones who pick up, suit up, and never let us down. From all of us at Duncan to all the heroes keeping everyone running, we thank you.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding, Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Woo-hoo. Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
You can't buy a best friend. You can love them, walk them, pet them, and care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture or 50. You can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that, but you can adopt one. There are millions of pets waiting for a best friend just like you. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
Start your morning every morning at 8 a.m. with 4th and 20 with Toast and Marsh. The boys cover all the local sports stories while providing some great Miami Hurricanes insight. Download, subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. 4th and 20, 8 to 10 a.m., only at OnSideRadio.com.
These are unprecedented times, challenging how the YMCA works to strengthen community as we have for nearly 170 years. But we've always found ways to help people and communities in times of crisis. Right now, Ys across the country are providing emergency childcare, shelter, food programs, and outreach to seniors. But we can't do it alone. Whether you're connected to the Y or have a fond Y memory, we need you to stay with us. Reach out to your local Y today and stay with us for a better us.
The fighting spirit of the Marine Corps is born of battles won. Battles won within, over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. It's who we are. It's what we do. It's a promise made to you for more than 2 centuries. A promise of the Marines.
Okay, forest animals, today is a new day. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow.
Yes?
Have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. Okay, River.
Dude.
How's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man. Perfect for a little riverside shoeless relaxation.
Ah, good. Owl, you here? Course. Who's asking? I am. Look, you know the drill. Sleep during the day, scare the kids at night. Perfect. I love my job. Oak Tree?
What's up?
Still in the same place I left you last year. That's what I like. Consistency.
Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere for the next couple hundred years.
I know. I love it. Turtle. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. You'd think you would have learned by now to leave the night before our meetings. Okay. Squirrel. Has anybody seen Mr. Squirrel?
The forest has been preparing just for you. Visit a forest near you today. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's Big O. You know, air quality in your home or business is so important now, folks. That's why you've got to call M&S Air Conditioning. Let them install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that attracts, captures, and destroys biological contaminants to improve your air quality. M&S is always on call from 7:30 a.m. till 9 o'clock p.m. and, of course, emergency Sundays. Call for more info on high-efficiency air filters and their preventative maintenance plans. Visit M&S Air Conditioning at ac-florida.com.
Welcome back to Kai's Corner. To reach out to Kai, send a text to 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
Sean. No, I'm getting ready, so whenever I have to move out, so Big O can get his space, get his chair.
Disinfect.
Yeah. Make it a little bit quicker,
Disinfect, baby.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, man.
You're feeling great?
Yeah, the only thing I might feel, and maybe it's a Monday thing, just slightly tired, and maybe it's the shot.
The
I'm
fatigue.
not exactly sure because
Yeah.
some people say, like, I don't feel dead tired or anything like that, but maybe that. But outside of that, I'm lucky, man.
That's
Because
good.
I've heard fevers and all kinds of aches and
Really
pains,
bad.
and
Yeah.
my arm doesn't hurt really that much. It's not a big deal.
That's good.
You
So
know?
you're a part of that 50% that just don't get anything.
Yeah, I got lucky right now. At least that's what it seems like. You know what I mean? But yeah, so it was good. I mean, the worst part was just I got there and it was like,
Long line.
crap, the line.
Yeah.
And I go, oh well, for a 12:45 appointment, I probably should have got here at 12, and started the line. And then by the time I get there, yeah, I'm here for my 12:45 appointment. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I left there like at 2 something. You know?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I was there for over 2 hours.
Oh my God. And you got it at CVS, right? I think I saw in the picture.
Yeah, CVS.
So you got the Pfizer.
I got Pfizer. Yes. Yeah. Why? All CVSs have Pfizer?
Yeah, because I think
Is that how
Moderna
it
is the
goes?
main one of Publix. Because
Oh,
that's what I know.
have
Like,
no idea. I
Because
didn't
my
know that.
friends and my girlfriend, they got it at CVS, and it was all, or well, she actually got hers at MDC North. But most of my friends and all of them, they got Pfizer, and that was all CVS.
Oh no, dude!
And I got Moderna.
and
through
we got delayed
Publix.
extra because apparently it was too cold, and they're like, hey guys, we need to let it thaw out a little bit more and warm up, because if we shoot you with it now, it's going to be even more painful. So it was like, so everybody had to stand there and just wait for the vaccine to get warmer for them to be able to use it.
Jeez.
So that's a fine line they walk about, you know. That's why when there's a few shots left over in the day,
Yeah.
so that's how I got mine. That you call every morning on any of your local CBSs and try to put your name on a waiting list. And at the end of the day, they'll call you if there's something extra, and they had extra, and that's how I got mine.
You didn't qualify at all? Even
No,
with,
no, because I was over 50, 55 and older. I know, Kai, you think I'm 102 years old.
No.
I
But even with,
understand
like-
that, but I'm 54, so I was on the threshold.
No, but even like I know you talk about your like the heart and everything.
Oh
None
yeah,
of that.
no. Even with complications, they don't.
Really?
Yeah, even if you have 5 stents in your heart, don't matter. You had to wait for your age group to.
That's
to
so
come in.
odd. Was
Yeah,
that specific? Because I know that they said like it depends if you get. That's
I
so
guess.
weird.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's what. I guess it wasn't as bad. So all I did was we kept calling and putting our names on the waiting list. I got one, then my wife got one a couple days later. In fact, she gets her second one on Tuesday.
That's awesome.
So yeah, 2 weeks from now, when we're gonna start, at least enjoying a little life now again.
Yeah, be able
with
to enjoy
masks
something.
on,
Of course.
social distancing, washing
Not like
your
what's
hands
happening on
plenty.
South Beach.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, no, there's no South Beach for me.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
I'll be telling the tales of how I helped close Fort Lauderdale Beach. So, how I contributed to Fort Lauderdale Beach closing to young people.
Oh my gosh. So what do you have?
But it's nothing like what goes on in today's world.
No, the stuff that's happening right now on Miami
We just
Beach
want to
is-
get drunk and get laid. That's it, bro. That was our goal in life. Get drunk, get laid, not necessarily in that order. However it happens, we're all for it. That's it, bro. That's what the 80s was about. I'm sorry. All these guns, they confiscated like 80-something guns the last couple months there.
Jesus Christ.
It's like, are you kidding me? It's like, yeah, no. It was a different world, man.
Yeah,
Different
yeah, no.
world.
But, I mean, what's happening right now is
We just wanted to party, bro. That's it. But we partied, and so that
Yeah.
bothered the people in Fort Lauderdale. It's not good to be jumping off roofs into pools and stuff like that, But and the fights were very few, man. And it's usually like 2 dudes, not 40. And then people, in our day, it was 2 dudes fighting, then people would break it up, and then it's over, and that's it. No guns, no knives, none of that stuff. Unless you were dealing with like this first-class delinquent, which is like, it was rare, but, it would happen once in a while. Now, it just seems like,
it's
everybody-
just
it's just completely out of control.
It's crazy. What do you have coming on the show today?
We got Omar Kelly from the South Florida Sun Center with our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. Anthony Chang from the Miami Herald will stop by to talk a little Heat. So we'll get into those subjects and then plenty of other things, my brother, to talk about.
I heard, well, at least I saw through Twitter. My eyes did not mistake me that Omar was a big fan of the Will Fuller stuff, and that I think that
About
builds
the
in
what?
the Will Fuller signing.
Oh, yeah.
And
how
that's
can you
gonna
not
be
man.
Yeah.
Now, if it was a multi-year deal, I wouldn't have been so happy with
Even
it.
2?
With his hamstrings, I love the 1 year because it keeps him motivated because he has to stay on the field, because he needs a contract next year, a big contract, because he'll be 29 years old. It'll be his last contract. So I think this is a beautiful deal for the Miami Dolphins.
So if he balls out, would you want to sign him to a major deal or no?
I wouldn't sign him to a major deal, no.
All right.
No, I wouldn't, because his health I just don't trust. He's like a thoroughbred. You know, you ever watch a quarter horse or some of these other they're big and thick all over. You look at thoroughbreds and they got these skinny little legs.
Right.
And that's why they're so fragile. That's kind of Will Fuller. He's a thoroughbred, and that hamstring gets a little fragile.
His hamstrings, his knees, he's been just dealing with a lot. But hope you have a great show. I'll be listening to as much as I can while I drive.
I'll try to survive through the 3 hours.
You'll be good.
Maybe my symptoms kick in those 3 hours. Make it nice and fun. You can watch me on YouTube.
Crypto Bro.
Faint or something.
You'll be good. You'll be fine. You look great,
Damn
and that's all good. We will see you guys tomorrow morning. This has been Kai's Corner. Have a great rest of your day.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. No wimpy corporate-led radio station here. You're listening to the only station in South Florida that truly gives you a voice. OnSideRadio.com.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843.